Hi everyone, it's Bjorn the Strong in the Arm here, and I am standing outside of something I'm pretty happy about. It is a glass elevator designed for Minecraft 1.9. As you probably know, in the 1.9 update of Minecraft, the glass elevators we're used to, the ones that use water streams and push them into a fence post and then send items up, have been broken. Now, after that, there's a couple of designs that have come out already that fix it. There's one by Mango, which pushes items through a water stream into some trapdoors that manage to send things up. And another one by Snow Crash that uses walls, cobblestone walls, being pushed around by sticky pistons. And those are really good designs. I'm not going to make any claims to superiority to this one. Those have a lot going for them. One thing you will notice about this design, though, is that it doesn't have any water involved. And that is an advantage. It means that this is a design that works really well if you want a glass elevator, for whatever reason, in the Nether. Also, because there's no water streams, we're not worried about moving things around. Don't have to spend a space out front to get everything lined up with water. It has a relatively compact design. So this design could be also really helpful if you have a tight space you're working with and you can't just get the water moving around right to get things into your elevator. So the concept behind it is fairly simple. Here's the idea. Suppose you had a glass elevator and you knocked out a middle block at some point and used a dropper to get some items into the hole. And then you push that block up from below with a piston. You would think you could send things right through the elevator. And you can, but they go a lot farther than the elevator. You see, after they get to the top, they just get launched right up there. And that's because of the way that 1.9 handles items that got pushed by blocks on pistons. If you go from the bottom, they go up. If you go from the side, they get launched out. The solution to that same concept is to instead drop the items, or push the block from the top. Now it's got to be fairly quick. It's got to be a 2-tick pulse. So this is the little device here, runs it to 2 ticks. And there they go, and you see a nice leisurely stroll. None of that launching nonsense up into the air. So if you're going to build this design, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need some glass. The amount of glass you need, of course, will depend on how tall you want your elevator to be. You're going to need 34 solid blocks, 1 sticky piston, 12 redstone dust, 5 repeaters, 6 comparators, 1 torch, and 1 dropper. You also need some chests and some hoppers if you're going to do what I did here, to input into the dropper from a chest and have it come out to the chest through hoppers on the top. So that's what you'll need. That's the idea. Let's get building. Okay, let's start by building the elevator shaft itself. Put a 1 block in the center, or center block. Take 8 more and put them around like this. It's not there, but there. That is the bottom. In the middle, go 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up. Knock the bottom 3 out. Put a sticky piston facing down on that remaining block. And then put another piece of glass on the face of that sticky piston. Having done that, come down behind here, put a dropper right there. Put a solid block next to it. And then put 2 hoppers, go into the dropper and then into that, and then chests on top of the droppers. Go ahead and finish this up by, level up by putting 5 more blocks around there. And then coming along here, putting glass blocks on all of here, and then a solid block, oops, not there, but there, right next to the piston. Continue coming around like this and build it up a little higher. You don't want to watch me build a tall one of these, but you can of course make it as high as you like. Once you get to the top, you will want to put your output chest there and a couple of hoppers into that, and then line that around like that. But then you need to don't stop there. You need to go 1 level up and make a kind of ring, a donut here around that hopper. And the reason is because in this design, sometimes you don't align things at the bottom, but sometimes things will come up, say, right around here, kind of between these two blocks. And if you don't have these blocks here, some of those items that come up will land right on this block. And as a result, they won't, in the hopper, you won't get them back. If you have this ring around, then the items that come up there, when they're kind of half and half, when they hit this level, this solid block pushes them over into the air block, then they can fall down, land in the hopper, and get collected into the chest. But there, that's our elevator done. So let's come around to the back and wire up the redstone. We'll start by wiring up the timer that runs the dropper here. So come right below the dropper, put 4 blocks out, put 4 more blocks just right next to it, and then come along here behind this dropper. Out of the dropper, put a comparator, a repeater after that, and a comparator set on subtract mode. 4 dust around like that into a repeater going into there. This all by itself will run that dropper. Now, in order to lock the dropper, we put a block here with a repeater into it. And we also need to come around here, put a block here with a repeater into this solid block that runs the piston. Put that repeater on 2 ticks. Go there and there to make an L, and then come down here and put another square there to make kind of a Y shape, kind of a shape like from the old Cubert game, and then line all of those blocks there with dust. Now come along here, go right there, put a torch right next to it. And you want to come out and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks there, and 1, 2, 3 right back here. So put dust there and there, there and there. Put the redstone comparator there to there, and then back around into the block. And we are finished. This is the timer that runs the piston going down. When it goes off, it not only fires the piston, but it locks that repeater there, meaning whatever is getting spat out will stop getting spat out long enough for the block to go down and back up. And we're done. So there you have it, a Nether-ready glass item elevator. Now, before I sign off, a few final comments on this design, on this elevator here. The first is that, as I said at the beginning, one of the advantages or the features of this is it doesn't involve any water streams. And that's can be a good thing, but it can be a bad thing too, because it does mean you are limited into how much you can move through this, and how fast you can move things through it, to how fast these hoppers can get stuff into that dropper, and how fast that dropper can spit things out here. Now, the dropper will be able to move faster than these hoppers going sideways, but that still is a limit. If you have so many items coming through your system that will overflow a single hopper stream, it will also overflow this glass elevator. Now, that being said, you can try to up the flow through here by multiplying the number of droppers you have spitting things into that hole. So here's something I mocked up here with 2. And as you can see, I can stick stuff into each of the chests. It'll spit them out from both directions and fire up. Now, one thing to be aware of is if you do use a design like this, even this just kind of doubled up design has the effect that if you really fill these up, if I filled both those chests up, I would overflow this hopper up here. So if you are going to try to up the amount of items going through, you're going to have some other way of dealing up top, a water stream or some other system for moving them out of the elevator once you get to the top. The other thing I want to mention really quick is that sometimes you will see, as you're watching this, items seem to kind of shoot off, and they kind of come maybe halfway on their arc and they vanish. That seems to be a glitch, and it happens, especially I've seen it more often in something like this when I've really overloaded the system, but I have seen it even with the regular designs. Now, in testing, it does seem as though those items are making it into the chest. If I put, 10 stacks in each of these. When all's said and done, I get 20 stacks in the top chest, even if I saw some seem to go shooting out. So don't get too worried if you see that happening. It seems to be a kind of animation glitch. It doesn't mean you're actually losing items. So be aware that is a possibility, though. So there it is, the Nether Ready glass item elevator. I hope you find it useful, and thank you for watching.